Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, or I know it's good evening for everybody who has be watching this video or this session, this podcast from India location or from specifically from the Asia part. Hi everybody, my name is Atul Grover and we are back again on the episode number, I guess 38 with Kristy. And this episode this week is specially dedicated for the Women's Week. Last week we invited Rujuta on the podcast. This time I'm invited Christy on the podcast, and let's start this discussion. So, how are you, Christy? How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking.
I'm
Thank
sure that you are not tense or you are not worried because this is a day routine to be coming on the camera and talking to the people.
I've gotten accustomed to it at this point, so it's okay. I was literally just doing it, so here we are again.
Yes. Okay. So we'll start the discussion now. And before we start, as per the tradition which I follow in my podcast, we'll take a 10-20 second pause. To whom you worship, just pray to the God so that He give us the power, strength, and the words. So what we want to communicate, we want to share with the audience, with the everybody, we can share in the same manner. And then we'll kick off the session formally.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start from your introduction. I just know that your name is Christy. You are a senior developer advocate at ServiceNow, but
Yes.
I don't know about the background. And I want to be listened because when I invited Selena, she has a very different kind of background coming from the teacher and mom, then teaching or coming the ServiceNow ecosystem. It's totally different. So what about you, Christy, here?
Yeah. So, background about me. I've been at ServiceNow for 8 years, so I'm not new to ServiceNow. I am new to the developer advocate role. Before becoming a developer advocate, I was a solution consultant. I was creator workflow, so I specialized in creators. So all the building tools has always been interesting to me. Before coming to ServiceNow, I was actually a ServiceNow customer for a couple years. I had ran a platform team at my previous employer, Assurion, in Nashville, Tennessee. Um, Family wise, I am a mom. I have two boys, one 7, just turned 7th into February, and the other is 9. They are fun and I love them dearly. They're obviously my life. It's why I do what I do. I happen to also love my job, so that also helps, but they're the big reason why, I get up in the morning and come to work. So,
That's
but yeah.
That's nice. So I want to be know a little bit more about Christy as a background, like from
Sure.
where you started your qualification and how you started a job specifically, because this
Yeah.
much is specifically for the Women's Week.
Yeah.
And I'm sure once this get recorded and available on the YouTube as well, so definitely a lot of people will go and watch it. But
Yeah.
how you started this job and how you landing in the service now?
Okay, so I'll go way back. My mom, when I was 8 years old, bought me my very first computer. This was in 1986. I
Oh,
was 8.
I was
It
a few
was
years old that time only.
I was 8. Yeah, yeah. I'll be 47 in May, so I don't know how I feel about that. Um, but I was 8 years old. She bought me a Commodore 64C because
Okay.
she had some amazing foresight because she saw the way things were going. She was in healthcare. She was seeing things starting to turn digital, and she's like, this is going to be the way of the world. So she bought me a computer in hopes that, I mean, maybe I would take to it, maybe I wouldn't, but she recognized that this was, technology was going to be a
Drive.
thing, right? And I got that computer and I was hooked. Like I was buying all the magazines that used to have all the programs written in the back. They would have games, like advertised games, and then you could go program them. I didn't have the tape drive, so everything was programmed to like a 5 1/4 floppy disk. Uh, I I was hooked on computers at that point. Um, I get out of school. I went to college. Didn't do great. College
Mm.
was just not for me, so I don't have a college degree. I am not a formally trained developer.
Okay.
Um, I ended up going to work in a call center, doing technical support. So Bell South, which was, just a telecom provider here in the States, was rolling out their first, fast access ADSL is what they called it. The very first type of, internet access that was faster than dial-up. So
Oh,
I was doing support for that, and it was really great place to learn technology. It was
okay.
kinda trial by fire because you were operating blind. You couldn't see these people's computers. You were literally telling them, walking them through how to set things up. So it was a really great learning ground. And then, I kind of worked my way up through there when I started working at the company I was at before ServiceNow. I was there for 12 years. So
Oh,
there for quite a long time. Always involved in whatever service management kind of apps were there. Took a real shine to that. I really enjoy that. That's where I did my first web call, or wrote my first, it was SOAP, it wasn't REST, but my first SOAP call, and then
okay.
was hooked on the idea that I could write something over here that would make something in another application happen. So that excited me a lot, and I just kind of stuck with it. And then in 2014, I saw ServiceNow for the first time,
Mhm.
and just really fell in love with the platform. Fred Luddy's story. I'm a very big Fred Luddy fangirl, but uh, and just fell in love with the platform, and it all just kind of transpired from there.
Wow, nice, nice. So
Yeah.
from 1986 computer to a call center, then to be start working in the application hub and finally landing on this
Yeah.
service now. So
Yeah.
do you think that the call center job was very better, or this was a really good one if you compare with the previous time? Like you were relaxed there or you have a lot of burden there?
Uh, it was a difficult job,
Mhm.
but I think had I not started there, or had I not gotten that job, I don't know what path I would have gone on. I think that was necessary for me to set myself on the path that I was on.
Mhm.
So for somebody getting started or wanting to started in tech, that was a great way for me to do it, or a great place for me to get into tech. Like I said, it's a great learning ground. And if you talk to other people in technology, it's a very similar story. They got their start in a service desk. That's basically the same thing as like a call center, maybe less volume, but same sort of situation. You start from the ground up, you learn, and you just, move up from there. Find something that you like, that you enjoy. For me, it was scripting. So I wrote VB scripts, batch file scripts,
Mhm.
shell scripts, all of that,
Okay.
which really interested me. And that's what kind of, you know, that's how I chose the path that I went on. So finding the thing that interests you, that's going to keep your interest, I think, is really important.
Wow. And before, or might be I can say that when you joined service now, you
Mhm.
joined as a developer or what type of profile you were?
Yeah, good question. No, I was a solution consultant. So technically I was in sales, but I never felt salesy. I say that and people are like, "Oh, sales." It never felt that way for me because I was the technical side of a sales team. So I
Sure.
got to do all the cool demos and talk about all the technology.
Mhm.
And it was actually my own solution consultant when I was a customer that inspired me to be a solution consultant, and he jokes with me all the time because now we work together, and his name is Brett Byer. So if he's watching, this is for you, Brett. But he jokes with me all the time because he would tell me, and I don't remember saying this, but after the first demo, he was like, "Yeah, you were like, are you are always this freaking happy?" Because he is like the most excited, happiest guy, most passionate about the technology.
Okay.
And he was the guy that I was like, "Man, that looks like a really fun job. I think I would really enjoy that." And I was
Oh,
right. It was really fun.
right, right, right. So like he was your mentor in this journey, or you have some other person as well who is mentored you to reach at this destination now?
I don't know that he was my mentor, but he was definitely someone who inspired me to take the leap into solution consulting because I'd
Okay.
never been in sales before, so it was a whole new ball game for me. Um, and so he was kind of inspiration, but along the way, I would say um, I've had unofficial mentors. I've just kind of found people that I felt gave really sage advice and really good advice, and somebody that I can confide in. A lot of times, those people are just coworkers that I would talk to. I talked about this on a session I did the other day about imposter syndrome. I
Yes.
found people that were supportive and that I could talk to. So no official mentors, but
Mhm.
definitely finding the people that I could trust was key.
Okay, nice. So we got our first question. Definitely, we have a lot of things to be discussed. What advice you will give to the new developers moving into the ServiceNow ecosystem as there is a lot to learn?
So much to learn. So much to learn. I mean, I would say ServiceNow has, and one of the big reasons I'm in the role that I'm in, ServiceNow has an amazing community.
True.
There are so many amazing people out there that want to help, that are willing to help, that are creating content for people, whether that be video, blogs, whatever. It's such an amazing resource for people to get help and to learn. Um, I think that's probably the biggest key. I mean, that's how I've learned a lot of things over the time I've
Mm.
been at ServiceNow. And I know even when I became a ServiceNow customer, community was really small. But
Right.
now there's 700 and something thousand members,
More
active
than,
members of the ServiceNow community.
yes.
Yeah, so take advantage of the community that you have at your fingertips because it's pretty unique, I think, the community that we have here at ServiceNow.
No, that's true. Almost 700K plus we have a member. I guess more than 2000K plus posts are there. And just to be update to you and everybody, tomorrow me and Jerry is coming live and we're going to be deep dive in the ServiceNow community. Even though which you don't know, that gems we're going to be get it for you. So please join
Excellent.
tomorrow,
Yep.
8:30 a.m. GMT, and it's 1 o'clock for IST timing. So please join that particular part. Okay,
Excellent. Yep.
we'll take a pause here now, Christy. Let's
Okay.
talk about something different here. So
Okay.
tomorrow is 8th of March. Definitely, it's International Women's Day, and I know that you are already invited for another webinar. Not I know it's a webinar. It's another session by
Yep.
Shama Niki that is happening tomorrow 6:30
Yep.
p.m. IST time.
Yep.
What's your special plan for tomorrow?
The special plan for tomorrow, I don't have an agenda item. I'm there for support. But I know Lauren McManaman, she is going to talk about all the new stuff coming in Yokohama.
Okay.
Um, I thought about talking about my journey, but I think I did that on the last session that we were on. But I am there for support and to chat, answer questions. If people have questions of me, or I can help Lauren in any way. So I am there for network, or well, I won't say networking, but for being support really.
Yeah. And any special plan on the personal front? Your boy has planned something for mama to be celebrate, or going out for lunch, or might be dinner somewhere. Any special plan?
No special plans, not yet. No, we have my kids take swim lessons on Saturday morning, so they're going to go to swim lessons. But maybe I need to remind them that tomorrow is International Women's Day, and mom needs a shopping trip or something. I could always use a new gadget. I love gadgets and technology, so maybe I'll go buy myself something, some new gadget of some sort. I don't know. We'll
Wow,
see.
nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. So might be in the knowledge when we're going to meet. Definitely, we see that what you buy on that particular day.
I'll let
Okay,
you know.
yeah. Now coming back on that track again. I'll not say that have to be specific this part, but being a woman, how you feel that it's challenging to be work in the IT industry or in any of the industry because you
Yeah.
started a long back and now you're still working. So how challenging it is?
Yeah, that's a great question. And technology, I think, is different. I've always been in tech. Well, I say that. I mean, I worked at restaurants before that, but it's a restaurant. But if I speak to tech, because that's the career path I chose, obviously, um, it is a little different because it is male dominated for the most part. So sometimes finding your voice is difficult. And finding space to share your thoughts and your opinions can be difficult
Mhm.
based on some of the personalities that you might work with. But if I'm honest, it has been difficult dealing with those sorts of personalities and finding my space for me. My biggest struggle has been just imposter syndrome and having confidence in myself and trying to uh, kind of silence that negative inner critic. And the thing that I found that has been most helpful for me is that I have stopped comparing myself to other people or trying to think that I need to be like the guy over here who's this mastermind. It's a really silly example, but at PowerPoint was one of the things that I remember very specifically when I started here at ServiceNow was that I had peers that had been solution consulting for years and they had really specific skills. They were really good at like putting together a PowerPoint deck. I was terrible at it. I hate PowerPoint. If I can avoid PowerPoint, I will. But the thing that it did for me, like looking at these people who were so good at it, I'm like, should I be doing that or should I be that good at it? So does that make me a bad SC if I'm not good at PowerPoint, and so it really planted some pretty heavy seeds of self-doubt in my brain, and it stuck with me for a long time, that whole comparing myself to other people.
Other people, right?
And that's not necessarily about being a woman in technology. I think that's probably pretty universal for a
Over-
lot of people that have that. I think men have some of the same struggles that women do. They just don't talk about it as much as maybe women would do. Um, but I think the struggle that women find is just finding a voice amongst all the very loud voices, other voices in the room. I think that's a pretty common struggle
Mm.
that I see. Yeah.
And what you do to overcome these problems? Like, do you also have some kind of swimming classes, or you do yoga or meditation kind of stuff? How you over relax, or I can say relax from these all burdens and heavy weeks work?
Yeah, I walk. Because I find, I mean, any manner of exercise I think helps. So if it's yoga, if you like to do yoga, meditation, whatever the case may be, walking for me is nice because it is exercise. I just literally just got a treadmill because it gets very cold here in Connecticut. So walking in the winter, not a good plan. Just can't do it because it's snow and ice everywhere. Um, that really helps me a lot. Just I plan to do an hour a day, and it just, I can watch a TV show while I'm doing it, and just kind of relax and get all the stress out of my brain. Of course, my kids do bring me a lot of joy, so I'll try to spend time with my kids. My youngest son is like obsessed with Hot Wheels and cars and trains and things. So, and my older son is obsessed with trains. So a lot of times we'll get on a train and ride to New York City because it's an hour and a half ride to New York City.
Okay,
And just have a good time, just de-stress.
nice, good, good,
As
good.
I've gotten older, that's been easier. When I was younger, and without kids, I worked all the time, all the time.
Mm.
And over time, I have learned that maybe work is not the most important thing.
I
Taking
was
joy in personal life is.
true. I was coming to that point only because when we young, we don't think anything else, just about the work only. But later on, we sometimes we feel sad that I lose my time in the work, but I should enjoy it.
Yep.
Definitely, when you learn,
Yep.
let's start now.
Yep.
Okay, so this is one part of Christy. Let's come a little bit more on the ServiceNow ecosystem.
Okay.
I met you last year on this your IoT garden in the knowledge.
Yeah.
First thing, how you find or where you find these kind of ideas to build up.
It's all my personal hobbies, if I'm honest.
Okay.
If you go to the Hack Zone at CreatorCon, you will see me reflected, or my hobbies reflected in a lot of the different exhibits that are there. The IoT garden was something that came up during COVID-19. So we were all in isolation and quarantine. I bought my first 2 plants, and I was addicted to plants. And before I knew it, I had a house full of plants that I was then having a hard time trying to manage.
Mm.
So I don't know. Do you know Jason McKee? You met
Yes,
Jason?
yes, Jason. Very
I call him my own personal like bad influence, because he's like, you really need like to like put a plant monitor in there and send the information to ServiceNow. I'm like, that's a great idea, Jason. So he sent me 30 little monitors that go in the plants, because I counted my plants. I'm like, it's about 30. So he sent me 30. He helped me out with the firmware because I'm not a firmware person. And then I was starting to collect all that data and put it in a dashboard, make a mobile app for it.
good.
Yeah, so it's all personal hobbies. I have a knitting machine behind me that at some point I want to automate and put into ServiceNow. The make farm with the 3D printers
Wow.
was part me too. So there's a video of me from Knowledge 20 when we did it virtually, talking about the print farm that we called it at the time. Now it's turned into the make farm. So
Okay. Wow.
it's all personal hobbies.
That's nice. At least the good part is that being in a company, you're able to fulfill your personal hobbies as well, and company
Mm.
supporting on that particular part. That's very nice. Okay, so what you're bringing this year for us in the knowledge? If you okay, you can reveal.
Ooh,
Don't okay.
ooh, I can't spill all the secrets. I can't do that. They will hunt me down, and it will be like, dropping the bomb from like the Oscars or something. But I will say what we have planned for this year.
Mhm.
I am very excited about, and I think the community will also be very excited about. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be some new things coming that are encourage more people to get out there and meet each other and talk to each other and connect. So I'm really excited about it. But you'll find out about it soon enough.
Definitely,
But
yes, we are excited on that.
can't share the secrets.
Yes. Okay, now we'll come to the other part. Your kids with you, and definitely in the whole day you're busy in recordings as well, because in the last just a few minutes back we're on the same Friday chill stream as well, where we playing the
Yeah.
game together. So how your kids are supporting you? Are they like, mom, finish it off, fed up, let's spend some time with us, or what? How they're treating you in these particular cases?
Yeah, yeah. Well, fortunately, during the day they're at school. So for the most part, when I'm working, they're at school.
Mhm.
But there are times that they're at home and I'm working. One of the really great things about ServiceNow is we're very family friendly. So there is a lot of respect for work-life balance, which is great. So they will show up on streams sometimes. They'll show up on videos, on meetings. My dog, much like Lauren has Bo, I have
Yes.
Muppet. He actually made an appearance on the chill stream today. Uh, it's really nice that they can interrupt and do those sorts of things, and it's not a big deal. But I do have a video
Okay.
of my youngest son. I recorded it because he said it once. I'm like, you're gonna have to say that again. I'm gonna have to record it. That I sent to my team. That he said when he grows up, he wants to work at ServiceNow so that he can build liquor bots.
Oh,
I was like, okay, all right. So I sent it to the team and I'm like, Jason is now officially a bad influence on my kids, not just me. So yeah. Yeah.
no problem. Yeah. So they also understand service now with you, or they know that what is flow, what is workflow, automation, or you're
We're
still
we're getting there.
all
We're
this?
getting there. We're slowly ramping them up, but I mean, he's seen me. So last year at Knowledge, we did the brick sorter, which was a Lego sorter.
Yes.
It was my first attempt at building a robot, and it honestly needed some work, but it worked great in my house. And then having to set it back up at Knowledge, we had some challenges. But he saw me building all of those things.
Okay.
He's also seen the liquor bot because it has been at my house before.
Okay.
So he's very interested in robots and, learning how everything works. So I think at some point I'm going to introduce him to the idea of building apps on the platform, but we're just slow rolling it right now.
Mm.
But he's definitely been exposed to it for sure.
Yep. So they have any plan to become to knowledge this year along with
My
you?
kids,
Yes.
I would love for them to come, but I think they might be a little overwhelmed by the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
maybe
crowded
next
as well.
year. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Okay. But nice to see. Okay. So we got a comment from you, and I have this question as well. You
Yeah,
went India for the first time in the last year.
I did. I
How was
did.
your? Okay, let's talk about the journey first. How was the journey?
It was really good. I flew, Emirates. So,
Okay.
yep, I flew Emirates and it was amazing. I mean, I didn't get business class or anything like that. I sat coach, but their coach class is on a whole other level than the
Okay.
other airlines that I have flown. The food was amazing. The food in India was incredible. Um, but the journey there, it was pretty painless. It was long. It was at that point, it was the longest flight I'd ever been on until then I went to Australia the next month.
Okay.
But, it was good. It was smooth. It went well.
Nice. And which city you like most in India when you go for the creator con? It's Pune, Bangalore, or other one, Hyderabad? Which,
Ooh, that's tough because you know what? I didn't see much of any of the cities. I saw airports and hotels. That's it. So I can't say which city I like the most. I mean, probably the nicest place that we stayed was Bangalore because we stayed at the Leela.
okay.
So it
Leela.
was it was a very nice hotel. All of the different events were amazing, like meeting all the people,
Mhm.
the crowds that we got. Our AI labs were amazing, but I wish I could say that I've seen more of India than I had. That was the beef. That's what we told Mark. Like, look, if we're going to do this next year, we want time to actually go and see India, right?
Yes.
And be able to like enjoy it a little bit more because it was just literally airport, hotel,
True.
airport, hotel. It was
Correct.
a grind.
Right. So maybe I can request to Raj Shekhar who put this comment. So next year when Kristy is coming, please make sure you get a good food, specifically street food for Kristy, so that she can enjoy that particular part.
Man, I loved Indian food, but I will be honest, I was very happy to have just like a turkey sandwich when I got home. because my I don't know that my body could have handled more Indian food, even though I love it. It was really good. My mother-in-law was staying with us at the time, and we got back and we had just introduced her to Thai food, and she wanted to get Thai food. I'm like, "Oh, I'm not ready. I just can't. I can't do it. I know it's different than Indian food, but it was the spice. Like I'm weak sauce on the spice, but man, that the food was
Okay.
biryani was my favorite.
Yes. So definitely for Hyderabad, if you go, Hyderabad biryani is too good,
That's where
too
I
good.
had it. I had it in Hyderabad. It was really good. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we'll give a little time to the audience as well. If you have any question, you can put it. In the meantime, I'll play a game with you.
Okay.
Definitely, in the last stream, you were just as a monitoring, but now you have to play a game.
Yep.
Okay, the first one. I'll give one alphabet, and you have to give me one word from ServiceNow. It
Oof.
should not be release name.
Not a release name. Okay. That
Otherwise, you
would
will
be too
easily.
easy, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We will, and there's nothing called points, right point. It is
Okay. You're not as rough as Pranav then. I'm not going to get like minus 50 if I get it wrong. Okay.
no, no.
Good.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. So let's start with a little basics. Anything with start with B, word alphabet B.
Why I want to say builder, but I mean, that's UI builder or catalog builder. Business rules.
Business rules. Okay. Something with E.
Man. E. See, here I am again with the second word. Workflow editor was what I was coming up with, but that's not it either.
We can take help from audience as well. This is one of the game which we always play. So
Oh, there's Solani.
Saloni, you can also take participate from other stream to this stream as well. Something with E. And
Escalations is not a thing, is it?
Escalations
No.
we can say,
I
but
can? Okay, I'll go with that, escalation.
escalation. Yes, I know that in my all podcasts, Jerry is one who always join and he always answered that very well. And today he's busy in the London meetup.
Oh, no, it's okay. All good.
Thing with S.
S?
Yes.
Script include.
Oh, so quick. Okay.
Oh, events. Thanks, Rompria. ETL. Look at all those good ideas. Dang it.
Events, ETL. Okay. Something with T.
D.
T.
G or D?
T. T for tango.
T for tango. Oh, tables?
Tables. Wow, something different, something new.
Oh, that was too easy? Oh, okay. Let's see.
Something from your consulting background, some words you can pick it up.
Oh, you're giving me hints, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, there's technology workflows, but that's probably not what you're looking for, is it?
No, that's a very big
No, it's also too easy, isn't it? Okay. T.
Yes.
Why do I feel like this should be really simple? And I'm totally spacing on it right now. A table. See, Saloni's got the same idea as I do with the table, but that's too easy.
Something different.
It's not technology workflows. Oh, man.
We are getting the answers now.
Taxonomy, transform maps. Oh man, those are good ones. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Boy.
Something with now the difficult one.
Oh gosh.
X.
X?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I can't do Xanadu. You already said I can't use release names.
Otherwise you will win.
And it has to start with an X. I mean, that's a limited words. It's like X-ray, but there's no X-ray in the ServiceNow world. There's EX. X. Oh, this is tough. Tasks. That should have been an easy one, Rompria. Thank you.
Come on.
I don't know. X.
Okay, so Rajshekhar, the question is that you have to give one word from ServiceNow that is starting from X, but you cannot take the release name. So I can give you one that is X-axis, which we use in the reports.
Oh, I didn't think about that. X-axis. I'm being too I'm thinking about like filter nav, because I've seen that filter nav loaded up with stuff. I'm like, what on the filter nav was with an X? That's good. X-axis. That's a good one.
Now those. A good toughest one. Z.
Z. Z boot.
Oh my God, something different now. It's too easy
Oh,
for
I
you.
can't use Z boot? Gosh. Okay.
It's
Is
something.
there a Z axis? There's got to be a Z axis, right?
No,
That's 3D world though. That's
it's
like
the
in the
Y
3D
axis, not the
realm.
Z axis. No, no, no. Some
Yeah.
right. Z boot is the right one. Is the most popular one. What something else?
I mean, there's zip. You can do like zips, but I think that's like it's called something different.
Yeah.
Oh, XML, X axis. Yeah. Okay. For Z, this is a trick question.
Smart.
Zing. Oh,
Z.
there is a Zing search. Oh man, that's kind of old school, isn't it? Didn't we do away with that a few years ago?
Because we are moving to from Zing to now AI to now system.
Right.
Now we
That's
are about
good.
this one. Yeah.
Oh, custom scope will start with X always. You're right. X
Yes.
underscore SNC or whatever. Yep. True.
Okay. Now let's come back to the journey again.
Okay.
So when you attended your first knowledge,
Mhm.
when you attended your first knowledge,
When did I
yeah,
that probably was 2015?
it was in person.
Yeah.
And how was your experience? You going
Uh,
you as a partner, you went or as a customer, you went as a service employee.
I was there as a customer. It was overwhelming because there was a lot. I mean, it was a lot smaller than obviously what it is today. Uh, it was very overwhelming a lot. And it was really nice to have my sales rep was with me and like kind of helping me figure out what sessions to go to and what to see. But I will tell you that I gravitated toward CreatorCon at my very first knowledge. Like that was where I wanted to be,
Okay.
and all the, and see all the things that were people were building outside of the realm of just using it for tickets or for IT. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And I know that you went last year as well,
mhm,
definitely when we met.
mhm.
So how the difference or what the difference you find in last 14, sorry, I can say 9 years from 2015 and now it's 2024. How was experience in that time?
Well, it's much bigger. It's like twice the size, I think, than it was back then. So there's a lot more people now. Um, we've obviously, well, okay. So I will say my first knowledge as an employee was 2017, and it is a whole new ball game when you go as an employee. I mean, I thought I walked a lot as a customer, but boy, like we're clocking like 20,000 steps a day. It was nuts walking so much. But I've been very I've always been amazed at how much we change year to year, like what we add to the platform,
Mhm.
new features that come to the platform, and just the energy that knowledge and the people who come to knowledge bring. It's always like I said on the last stream that we were on that I'm not the biggest fan of Las Vegas. It's just not my kind of city. But coming to knowledge, I will do that every time. I will go to Vegas any day if it's a knowledge day. Like it's fine because I love knowledge so much, and it's a lot about the people that I've met there, and just talking to people about ServiceNow, seeing the light bulb come on for people when I tell them like all the things that you can do with it, and they never thought in a million years you could do.
Mhm.
That is my that's my why and why I love ServiceNow so much.
Nice,
But
nice.
it's changed a lot because, like I said, just more people and just bigger event. And I'm very much an introvert, um, so I basically I'm toast by the end of the day. But it's such a good time. I enjoy every minute of it.
Yep. And for you, Ramapriya put a comment as well. It's a 10th anniversary K25 employee to dev advocate. I'm not saying employee; it's a customer to dev advocate. Wow,
Customer, employee to dev advocate. Yep,
wow,
yep.
perfectly fine. So how are you feeling now? It's the 10th time you are to be going. How are you feeling? Excited like the same, or you have more excitement, or like that's fine. 3 days, that's fine.
I am excited every year. Like I have, I just like I said, I have so much fun at knowledge. Uh, it's the ramp up to knowledge. So starting in January, this time it started before January. So 6 months leading up to knowledge are probably the most stressful
True.
of the entire year, especially when I was a solution consultant, because I was doing the solution consultant job and then the Hag Zone stuff on the
Mhm.
side. So I was busy for
Yeah.
a very good amount of time leading up to knowledge. But it's the most stressful time of the year. But I will say it's my favorite time of the year, even though it is just hectic and, it's a lot of work to get into it, but
True.
love it every time.
No, that's true. Even we can imagine that we get tired in the 3 or 4 days, or might be a 1 month, because we are preparing for the client perspective, customer perspective. But you guys are working for 6 months continuously, different plan, different designs, different discussions.
Hmm.
Good.
Hmm.
Okay. Now the next part.
Hmm.
How many name you remember from the last knowledge to whom you met first time?
Oh, I am the worst at remembering names.
I
I'm
need I need
so
at least five name.
bad.
Five name.
From the last knowledge, or can I count world forums because they all kind of blend together? Because I went to knowledge and then I was at
World Forum as well are
four world forums.
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Any five name from these events?
Okay. Rompria, she's on the stream. She
Okay.
was one of the folks that found me at the forum. I have Nia McCash. I met
Okay.
her.
Okay.
I've met Durav, obviously.
Okay.
I met Willem in Rotterdam.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of somebody. Oh, and Kevin Clark in Melbourne as well.
Oh, nice. And you met me as well.
Yes, and I met you, of course. I was just trying to go through people that I was trying to like remember all the names of the
Nice.
people that I met.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll come to bit little bit from the other perspective. In your life till now as a working woman, did you
Mhm.
find that it's enough now? Let's take a break and live a life now, easy and peacefully. Let's stop all working.
Uh, what do you mean? You mean like
Might be you total scattered down from the inside. Now I'm fed up. Everything has been done. Let's move and go back to
nah.
the life.
Nah, I mean, like I said, the work life balance here at ServiceNow has been really nice. And at some point, yeah, I did definitely make the transition from being a person who was work to like, you know what, I don't know that that's really worth it. Like, why am I spending all of this time? But I love what I do. I'm very fortunate because not everybody can say that.
True.
Um, I love my job, and I am nowhere close to being done and be like, you know what, I'm good. I've had the pleasure of being in this role, but I'm nowhere close to being done. I'm very, very excited about the
Very
future.
excited. Wow, nice. So how you get these positiveness in your life? Who is the motivator that okay, let's Christy continue another get up another day, do the work and prove yourself.
Yep. So my family is a big part of that.
Mhm.
Obviously, I told you like I get up in the morning because of them, and go to work every morning because of them. But it's always been about the. I mean, it's going to sound cheesy, but it's a lot about the community, like the people out there that want to learn more about ServiceNow. The content that I create is all for that very purpose, as trying to help more people learn more about ServiceNow, supporting those folks in their journeys. That's really why I wanted to become a developer advocate. And again, the aha moment for me is when I talk to somebody about ServiceNow, whether they're in the community or they're not, convincing them to join the community and be like, hey, this is really amazing community to come join. But when again they light bulb goes off that they're like, oh man, this platform is amazing. I'm like, my job is done. Excellent. So
Nice.
yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Good. Okay, so we have one question from
Mhm.
Rajshekhar that we know that
Mm,
your team, we hear that you're still in the process of finding. Did you get a new guy? I guess there's a no announcement has been done, but I guess Ellen joined, which I saw the post
yes.
on LinkedIn.
Yes. Yes. Alan joined our team. He's been here for about 2 weeks,
Right.
and we are hiring for another person in the EMEA region. And
Might
that's
be,
all I will say about that at this
yeah.
point.
So might be anybody who is from EMEA region and would like to be join this wonderful team and get ready to be on the camera, might be 24/7. So please,
It's not that bad. It's not all the time. No, no, no. No, it's
it's
fun.
definitely it's not bad. Definitely, yep, I can agree. Okay, I saw that from the last. It's like almost 1 year for you. You joined as a developer advocate. From the last knowledge, you convert your role is changed now. And I saw you are doing a lot of small videos,
Yep.
kind of a TikTok videos, Instagram kind of videos. break point sessions as well. How you manage all these things?
Oof. Well, it's all. I think that's AJ in the chat asked that question too. Tactically, my day to day, how I manage it is I tend to get very distracted with things, and so I have an app that that's called Sunsama that I use to plan out my day, and it keeps me on task and things I need to do. Um, but, a lot of, like, the did you know videos, so I started doing a lot of those did you know videos. I've started taking a lot of the cues from the community on doing those because I was like, "Man, what kind of videos am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna tackle next?" And I've started taking cues from the community. So I did one about glide records, 6 fun facts about glide records. Somebody asked a question about RL query. I did that one, and now somebody's asking a question about RaptorDB, so I'm kinda planning one for RaptorDB. So that's how I come up with ideas for those sorts of series. I started a series for Hack in the Hack Zone because I want to dive a little deeper into what we do in the Hack Zone.
Right.
And there is a special new series coming out. Hopefully, early next week will be the first episode that gets published. But it's more of a focus on community content and not necessarily technical content. So
Wow.
you'll see that come out in the next week or so. But juggling all of that, like I said, day to day, I do use an app to keep myself organized.
So how much time your time go in actually in the camera as a recording and as a off recording? How you divide
Oof.
that time?
I mean, recording is easy. Like, that part is pretty simple. Like, I've got lots of good equipment here. I've got good lighting. I got a good camera. I've got a prompter. I've got all the things that I need here. So the recording part, simple.
Okay.
I'm still learning editing, so it takes me a little longer to do editing and that sort of thing. Um, but I mean, meeting wise, yeah, the team and I meet pretty frequently throughout the week. We have like a weekly stand up that we do.
Mhm.
But actual recording is a very small part of my time, honestly.
Okay.
It's
And
all the other stuff that goes into producing it is what takes up most of my time.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I know that we are discussing in the previous stream as well that make sure you click on the record button when you start recording.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that was that was a bit of a flub on my part yesterday. Yeah.
no, that's fine. Even this happened with me as well. One,
Mhm.
I was recording a session, almost half of the session has been recorded, and while I was just swapping the tabs, I see, oh my God, I'm not recording it at all. So
I've sat in my chair and recorded a whole, like, video and realized I never hit the record button.
oh my God.
I mean, why, like, I don't yeah. So frustrating when that happens.
Okay. So now I have another question that again from Raj that do you have any plan to hire a dev advocate in India?
Another dev advocate, because we got Pranav, in India. I am not aware of another plan, of hiring another, advocate in India. However, in my mind, it's not outside the realm of possibility, but I can't speak to any certainties in that space because our team is growing. We obviously have a huge presence in India from a developer community perspective.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the plan is to hire someone else in that space. I assume that the person that we hire in EMEA will probably also pick up some of the work in India because I think they're a little closer. They'll be a little closer than us in the States. But yeah, I can't answer with certainty.
No problem. So Raj, for this, I'll give you the 5 or 6 name. Earl, Lauren, Kristy, Pranav, Travis, and Ellen. Follow them on the LinkedIn because if there's an opening, it will
We'll
be
tell you about it.
LinkedIn quickly, and you can, if you're looking for, go ahead and please
Mhm.
apply for it. Okay, I'm not sure that who is the name of this person, but it's showing me as a LinkedIn user. As a content creator, could you please tell me your top 5 favorite AI which you use making content? Wow, I will also take a note for this one. Specifically, how you create the beautiful pictures. I'm struggling on that particular part now. Which
The pictures, oh man, if I'm honest, I know a lot of my colleagues use Midjourney to create pictures.
okay,
Uh, I've stuck with ChatGPT because it knows me really well at this point,
okay,
and it does it like if I give it the right, if I use that, oh man, I always forget the acronym, but giving it a persona, a role, and feeding it all the information, it does a really good job for me in helping me get started with creating scripts for different types of content that I'm creating. And they'll give me initial one, and then I'll go back and forth and tweak it from there and tweak it a little bit more outside of AI. But I mean, I'm stuck mostly with ChatGPT, honestly.
okay, okay.
Um, Yeah, we also use Canva for a lot of the graphics that we use. Canva is a great tool to use. For editing, we use usually Premiere Pro, but you can use like Final Cut or, CapCut or whatever. Um, but
So,
yeah.
so, so might be if someone is joining advocate team, please start learning these tools as well, because this is the your bread and butter for the day.
Yes.
I can suggest.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the person name who is on the LinkedIn, it says Selva.
Hi,
Selva.
Silva.
Yep. And you met him as well in, I guess, World Forum, or might be in the Creator Con. This is what he mentioned in that comment
Mhm.
as well.
Yep.
Very good. Now coming to the almost last part of the session now. Okay. How was your experience when you first time go on the knowledge on the bigger stage to present the session?
Oof. You mean CreatorCon when I did the CreatorCon keynote?
Okay.
That was the biggest one. It was nerve-wracking. And I'll give you a little story. So, I was at Knowledge. I was in the hack zone space, and somebody approached me like, "Hey, would you have interest in becoming a developer advocate?"
Okay.
And I had to contain my excitement. I was like, "Yes, I would love to be a developer advocate." And they said, "Well, if that's the case, you can just treat your keynote performance as a bit of an interview tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay, no pressure. It's fine." So
Oh,
I had some added pressure on the stage, but being on the stage with Lauren, I found to be quite easy because we had, I think, good energy between the two of us. But it was a lot of fun. Like, I really, really enjoyed being on the stage at CreatorCon keynote. I'm hoping to be able to do that again. Was not my first time on a stage that large.
mhm.
We had our sales kickoff the year before,
Great.
and leadership asked me if I wanted to do a demo as part of a keynote. I was like, sure. I didn't realize what I just signed up for, but I realized I was signing up for doing a demo in front of 6,000 of my sales peers. There was 5,800 people at the CreatorCon keynote, if you can believe that. It was a
Yes.
lot of people.
Yes.
Um, and that was my first real experience getting on stage in front of that size of a crowd. And what was funny is my co-presenter, we were backstage and he asked me like what the biggest crowd I'd presented to was. And I fluffed the numbers a bit. And I was like, "I like 150," which was not even close. Not even close. I'm like, "Why did you even say that?" Because 150 is not even close to
Like,
6,000.
yeah.
Um, but that experience at sales kickoff made me recognize that I really enjoyed doing that, which kind of set me up for this role, fortunately. So yeah, it
Nice,
was
nice.
nerve wracking. Super fun though.
Perfectly fine. And also, I'm not going to be share Kristy LinkedIn ID because she's so famous on the LinkedIn. You can go and connect to her. Okay. Now the next part.
Mhm.
Definitely tomorrow you are going to be again invited as a guest in one of the session as well. And before we close this session now, or maybe if anybody has a question, you can put it here. What are your 3 tips, not for the women's, for the men, to support their respective women? Can be mother, can be daughter, can be wife, can be, might be daughter-in-law. What are your 3 tips that we should support, we should say, we should follow being a man?
Hmm. It's a good question. I would say listen, like really listen to what she's saying. Because sometimes, I mean, I speak from my personal experience. I have an amazingly supportive husband. But even he being amazingly supportive sometimes has a hard time really listening and hearing what I'm saying. He's gotten a lot better at it because it's just his personality. He talks a lot more than I do, if you can believe that. But really listening to what they're saying, right? Um, I would also say, and this is me again drawing from personal experience, don't automatically going into problem solver mode because sometimes that's not what we need. We don't need you to solve a problem. We just need you to listen
Lisa, yeah.
and be supportive and just be somebody that we can talk to and trust. So don't directly go to problem solving mode because sometimes that's our natural tendency to do that, but it's not always what is needed. Um, and I'm trying to think what the last thing is, the advice I would give um, to men to support women. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I would say also just help, right? Because a lot of times um, the roles in the household are women are always taking care of the kids, cleaning the house, making dinner, and a lot of times working as well. Um, my suggestion for men in that case, do something nice, do the dishes, fold the laundry, make a dinner, do something like that for the woman or women in your life, whether it's your mom, your wife, your sister, whoever it is. Offer your help and your assistance in some of those things that may traditionally fall on their shoulders to do,
It's
because
very
it's
good.
a lot.
And I guess the first one is very important because even though it's a man or woman, listening is more important. And specifically when you are in the kind of a sad mood or the hard times or the angry, better to be listened to be speak. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say one more point that it has been put by Carlos that which is a good comment. Live demo is part of hiring process. Might be the first experience or first interview we saw like this only.
Yeah, it's not a live demo. Live demo is not part of the interview process, so
Okay, might be last question for from it's again by Put Selva that
hi, Selva.
definitely he put that in the knowledge lot of sessions people submit for the creator con sessions or the knowledge session, but it's got rejected. So how to prepare on that particular part? Can you something guide on? Might be this year is already done. For the next year, we can start thinking now only.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, our big focus for knowledge, obviously, this year is AI. So whatever session you're trying to submit, make sure it's relevant to what we're doing, this year. Um, I would also say try generally to stay away from obviously AI generated titles and descriptions, because a lot of times those get passed over, just because sometimes it feels more like it's not authentic or genuine coming from somebody.
Human
So try to
human human feel is missing, I guess.
yeah, 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 like, and have good descriptions, like, one sentence is not gonna tell us everything that we need. Being very descriptive about what you wanna talk about and, like, what the objectives are, and if there's a call to action at the end, because usually when you have a session, there's usually a call to action.
Yeah.
Make sure you've thought that through and you have that in your description of what your session, is intended to do and, like, what it's intended to accomplish when people are going to it. I hope that helps, Elva.
Yeah, and also believe me that I am also submitting the session from the last 3 times, and I met a person who's submitting from the last 10 years, and none of his session gets selected. So don't be get demotivated.
Yeah,
Make sure that your participation is more important than I can say. Definitely, selection is a victory, but here the
yeah.
participation is important.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely don't definitely don't get demotivated by not getting selected because, we get a ton of sessions. If we had our way about it, we would choose a lot more, but we only have so many slots that we can fill and so many people that we can put into.
yeah, I guess more than sessions rejected is a big number because every time we come to know that thousands of sessions came, and I'm not sure that how you guys pick up those sessions. You read each line, you read every word, then you say yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 points like this is there.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, one more question. Could you please let me know if AI filter out session initially just like ATF? No. So you guys read everything and then you make a
Yeah, we go through every single one. Yeah, it goes through an initial before we as dev advocates see it. So it goes through initial like check, which is another team, and then it gets weeded down, and then we get to choose. So it's hard to say where things get lost in the process, but there's not a automatic like chop
nice.
off of people. No.
Right. Okay, now the last point.
Yep.
Final thoughts for the women on the special day that is we are celebrating tomorrow, International Women's Day. What is special thoughts on that particular part?
I would say, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Be brave. Um, don't let that inner voice that is always telling you can't do it get the best of you. uh, just take a chance, step outside your comfort zone. These are all things that I get talked about with imposter syndrome, but I think are hindering to a lot of people. And also don't be afraid to talk to other people, because chances are people are experiencing the same thing as you are, and you could find some real good cheap therapy in being able to talk to somebody. Free therapy, just being
Yes.
able to share with other people. So I would say be brave.
Nice, nice, nice. So before we close, I guess there's another question here. So before we close, there's a few announcements. Number one, tomorrow, me and Jerry is coming on another podcast of ServiceNow Community In and Out. That is 8:30 a.m. GMT and 1 p.m. IST time. Second is we have a session. It's not my session. It is arranged by Shama Negi and Anjali Chaudhary, where you also invited and Lauren also invited, Tosin also invited. That is 6:30 p.m. IST time. If any lady is in this group, please go and connect with Shama or Anjali on the LinkedIn and get join that particular part. And I guess, yep. And wish you all the respected ladies a very, very happy International Women's Day. Enjoy your day with your special one, with your family as well. But before we close the session, again, as a tradition, Kristy, we'll say thanks to the God because in the last 55 minutes, we're just speaking, speaking, speaking. So let's say thanks and then we'll finally close the session as well.
Okay.
Okay, so once again, thank you so much. I know we both are in the back-to-back streams from last 2 hours. So
Yep.
earlier with Pranav, and now we have our own podcast. Thank you so much, Kristy, for joining with me on this special day, and wish you a very, very good luck. Hope to see you in Vegas
Yes.
soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yep, and
Been
enjoy
great.
the day as well, and enjoy your special day from tomorrow. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.